Testing in the mountains of southern France ahead of the new WRC season. Thierry Neuville in the Hyundai Rally 1 Hybrid i20. 2024 marks a decade since the team's return to the WRC, and they're determined to celebrate the milestone in style. A fresh management structure headed by newly appointed company president and team principal Cyril Abiteboul, preparing for his second season in charge, very much focused on bringing the good times back after 3 years of Toyota domination. Hyundai naming a 5-strong driver lineup for their 2024 campaign, led by Neuville and former world champion Ott Tänak. The third car to be shared between Danny Sordo, like Neuville with the team since 2014, along with Esa-Pekka Lappi and WRC2 champion Andreas Mikkelsen. Rally winners one and all, an experienced and familiar lineup.
To a certain degree, it's something that was commanded by legacy and history, and loyalty that we want to show to some of our drivers, and the fact that we believe in them. Thinking of Danny Sordo, who's been with us more than 10 years. We want to extend the journey together. EP, I think everyone knows that I have something with EP because I know he can be quick. I know what he's capable of. You know, it was his choice also, which makes sense to us to move to a part-time program. So we decided that was something interesting for us. And having the privilege of having a WRC2 champion in Mikkelsen with us also, it's a great opportunity, in particular in connection also for our ambition in Rally 2. But that's something different. So part of that is the loyalty and seizing the opportunity with those guys, but also part of that is also what we believe needs to be the appropriate response to Toyota. We will have some part-timers and pretty strong part-timers with good road position, and therefore we also need to have our own strategy in response to that.
Hyundai have won 2 manufacturers' titles since their return to the sport in 2014, but the Drivers' Championship has proved elusive, and that's something Abiteboul is aiming to put right. Thierry Neuville, 5 times runner-up, Ott Tänak, 2019 champion with Toyota, will lead the charge, contesting all 13 events on equal terms, to begin with at least.
I think there will be a bit like a prologue in the season, the first part of the season where I think will be very much free for all. And I'm very keen on seeing what's happening. Frankly, I'm really looking forward to seeing those two in action, in absolutely, fair and equal chances in terms of equipment, in terms of car, in terms of development, in terms of parts. We are very lucky and privileged to be funded enough and resourced enough to be providing an equality of chance to all our crews, actually, but in particular Ott and Thierry. That will be the first part of the season. Then I'm interested to see, a second part in the season where maybe we need to start thinking a bit differently, starting planning differently, seeing who can be strong and who can, be strong at certain event or other events. That would be the second part of the season. Then there will be a prologue, there will be an epilogue, where we need to see really in action and in concrete terms how we can optimize the results from a team perspective or from a given driver perspective. But there is a bit of time before we get there.
Thierry Neuville and Ott Tänak reunited on equal terms as they head into the new season, but a real prospect of team orders coming into play as the campaign unfolds, with one very possibly having to concede to the other.
The big target for the team is to achieve the driver's title, and it couldn't be any better than having me and Ott in the team this year, having proven that the car is improving all over the last year and giving us the chance also to fight on the faster gravel rallies like last year's Estonia and Finland. So that wasn't the case before, so now looking forward.
From a team side, it makes all sense. Obviously, they want to achieve the championship as much as we do, and they are playing their cards to take the best out of us. So let's see in the second half of the year how we are doing or where we are. But clearly, the main target is to do better than our opponents are doing.
The targets are given, and the goals are set. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. We're giving each other a hard life, and we're going to make it interesting and exciting.
Neville and Tanak, experienced top-flight rally winners, 19 WRC victories each, set for a fascinating head-to-head showdown in the 2024 title race. All they need is the machinery in which to do the job. The i20 Rally 1 Hybrid, also a proven winner, now available with improved reliability.
Looking back at last year, it was very clear that we had a car that was probably a bit dominating in terms of pace. But actually, our biggest enemy was not Toyota, it was ourselves. It was ourselves by the tort and fault that we inflicted to us due to poor reliability, or on some occasions some operational issues, and also some driver mistakes, as simple as that. So eradicating those issues, it's a big if, it's an if, it's a big if, but it's also a big number. Clearly, we would have had the car, had the resources to be world champion, without the reliability, without operational issues, and without some of the drivers' mistakes. We know there will always be driver mistakes, but if we can eradicate reliability issues, if we can eradicate operational issues, then we already have a very strong chance.
Hopes and aspirations high at Hyundai. Their driver lineup for the season opener Monte Carlo completes with the return of Norwegian Andreas Mikkelsen, the WRC2 champion, back at the sports elite level 4 years after parting company with Hyundai.
Now it feels really good to be back in with Hyundai and also back in the WRC. Obviously, that's what we've been fighting really hard for since 2019. When we went out from WRC, we took the step down to WRC2, trying to fight our way back, and here we are. It was really great to go down to WRC2, do that championship, try to win some titles, which we did. And of course, during that period, I was always in contact with the several teams in WRC to see if there was some kind of opening, and things were looking difficult. But then during 2023 season, midsummer, things started to move a little bit. I was more and more in contact with Hyundai, and also after Japan, M-Sport a little bit for next year, and in the end we had a nice opportunity to join Hyundai.
Mikkelsen's a 3-time WRC rally winner back in his days with Volkswagen, but it's more than 4 years since he last drove a top-flight car in anger, and with limited testing in the i20 R1, Monte Carlo presents something of a daunting return.
I will be very nervous. I will be very nervous because I haven't been in this type of car for a long time. I don't have a lot of mileage before I start the first stage in the night. It will probably be black ice, what it normally is in the night stages in Monte Carlo. Things can go very wrong very quickly, so let's say I just have to use my knowledge, the experience that I have, as good as I can, and do the best out of it. It would be nice to get to the finish in Monte Carlo, to get off a good start, and then let's see later on in the tarmac season where you can push more, but I still want to deliver for the team in Monte Carlo, so it's not that I just want to crawl through and get some kind of results. You know, we're there to help the guys, try to beat some Toyotas and Fords. So it's like, it's a balance, and I hope I can get into the rhythm quickly and get a good feeling.
8-time world champion Sébastien Ogier testing the Toyota Yaris R1 ahead of the season opener. The most successful driver of all time on Monte's menacing mountains, a record 9 victories, and hungry for more.
Always. I think, I always mention that this rally, for me, you need to respect it more than any others. The conditions are always so challenging for us, which in my eyes, you have no guarantee. It's always start from zero again. And even if, I've been incredibly successful on this rally, it doesn't give me any guarantee that I will be able to do the same this year. So for sure, I come here with the same respect I always had starting this difficult rally. But motivation is there. Even number are never really the main motivation. Make it 10 will be very special.
Sébastien Ogier aiming for Monte Carlo victory number 10, but taking nothing for granted. Monte presents the toughest possible start to the season. Treacherous, icy mountain tracks, some run in darkness, changing conditions, the ultimate test, even for the very best.
it's challenging to try to focus on what you need to prepare and try to see the range of tires, see the range of setup. So we do our best today to be ready, but you know, winter conditions are always a bit of a lottery. You never know what you're gonna have for the rally. We've tried today with some wet and a little bit wet snow condition, and we hope we'll be ready. The car haven't changed that much compared to last year, so it's some fine-tuning things. Now we are entering the third season with the same car, and I think the teams are well prepared, so it's more and more going to be small details to make the difference.
Ogier once again very much the man to beat in the season opener Monte Carlo. The Frenchman contesting a part-time campaign again this year, an arrangement that appears to suit him and the Toyota team.
I'm happy. Obviously, it's a choice, and I take this opportunity with both hands. The last seasons have been fun for me, even if I was not fighting for the championship like it used to be. I still had a really good time with the team, managed to take some good results, and I think we want to try to keep surfing this wave as long as we can, and that's the plan for 2024. Starting with Monte Carlo, of course, for me, it's a must-do, and obviously, a lot of hopes for this start event of the season.
For all his extraordinary achievements, Ogier remains the second most successful WRC driver in history. 8 world titles to Sébastien Loeb's 9. So, what about the temptation to match his countryman in the WRC Hall of Fame, especially if he gets off to another strong start? Could there be a tilt at a 9th driver's title?
I think I take the life and the rally life day by day, rally after rally. And at the moment, the focus is on Monte, but obviously when you're not planning fighting for a championship, the approach is a bit different. Like I say, you focus on every single event you're going to enter and try to make the best of it.
Sébastien Ogier, favourite for an extraordinary 10th Rally Monte Carlo victory. We're likely to see plenty of the former champ this year, but responsibility for leading Toyota's challenge lies elsewhere. Double world champion Kalle Rovanperä contesting a part-time programme in 24, so Elfyn Evans will spearhead the team's quest to retain both drivers and team titles. The Welshman, a 3-time runner-up in the Drivers' Championship, most recently last year. His mission this season, simple, to go one better.
Well, of course, 23 was a nice progression from the struggles we had in 22. That was a positive, but of course, when you're not winning, you're never really quite that happy. Still, there was 3 wins in the season, which is the most for me in a single season. So I think it shows that we're at least moving in the right direction. And of course, we want more in 24. But of course, it's not going to be easy to achieve that. We know the competition is tough. It's very competitive out there. So difficult year ahead like always, but ready to give it our best shot.
Completing Toyota's 2024 lineup, Takamoto Katsuta, the Japanese star preparing for a full season alongside Elfyn Evans, impressing last year, not least with that season-high 3rd place finish behind Evans in Finland. Podiums in each of the past 3 seasons. Katsuta's next target, the top step.
We should be better than last year's result. I mean, in the championship point and everything, but at the same time, I'm never win the rally yet, so this is one of the biggest target, and I try to get the victory in this season. And same time, I need to keep the consistency on podium fight, or at least top 5 on top 3, and stay in the fight. So this is for sure in kind of another next step.
Taking the wraps off M Sport Ford's challenger for the new WRC campaign, the 2024 Puma Rally 1 Hybrid cutting a fine figure in its new livery. The departure of former world champion Ott Tänak at the end of last season saw M Sport turning to youth this year. A driver lineup featuring Frenchman Adrien Fourmeau, fresh from a strong season in the WRC 2 Championship, and rising star Grégoire Monster, who last year managed to compete in the Junior Series, the WRC 2, and also went on to impress on his full WRC debut in the Puma R1 in Chile towards the end of the season. A young, relatively inexperienced lineup, expectations, not unreasonably, a blend of optimism and realism.
To be fighting at the top against the other guys is probably difficult for us, but not impossible. And the reason I say that is because we've got two youngsters here that have come in and are getting better and better and have a perfect situation in some ways, that there's no expectation on them, no pressure. And with other drivers doing partial seasons and a big fight, I'm sure, between Thierry, Oit and Elvin, you know, we have to consistently score points. And I think that's the goal over the course this year. If we can be there at every rally and do relatively well at every rally, we'll be in a good position. And I think the first quarter of the year will be key for us to get some good results, and then that will set the tone going forward. But you know, young drivers, pretty young team, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of determination to do well.
Grégoire was my teammate last year in the Rally 2 class, so we were teammates. We were trying to improve the car, trying to improve our performance, and so we have a good relationship. I hope I will get the chance to exchange with him a lot of things, and if I can improve himself, it's good. If he can give me some tricks also, it's really good, so we'll share that way, and I think it will make us stronger. I don't plan to fight for the championship, for the win of the championship, but if we can be quite close or something like that, I would be much more than happy.
I expect we will get some podiums. You know, I hope, and our goal is to get podiums, and the drivers the same. And when we get them, it will make it a different feeling when you get that success. You know, but working towards it is key, and you know, I can see the team is motivated to go again, and we're all kind of not talking about it, but I think we all know that we could have an opportunity to upset some people over the course of the season.
34 right sharp, middle, into